based on a Stephen King book of the same name, which I have not read, and also a mini-series that came out a very long time ago that I have not seen. And this is one of the most anticipated and most sort of hyped up movies of the year. You know, when the first trailer came out, it broke like a ton of records, and all the marketing and promotional material have just been really, really good. And so I think a lot of people were really excited to see this film, and I was quite excited, but at the same time I was kind of not very excited, because if you've been watching this channel for a while, then you know that I don't watch horror movies. Those are the one genre of films that I don't watch. But since the beginning of 2017, I feel like I've been slowly getting into horror films. I saw Split, which I obviously really liked, which isn't really a horror film, but it was pretty intense. I saw Life, Alien Covenant, neither of which could be considered horror films, but they kind of are because they're kind of intense. I saw Get Out, which is one of my favourite films this year. I absolutely love that film. That's obviously a horror film. A couple months ago I saw The Shining, which is obviously a classic, and I absolutely love that film. And so I've definitely been slowly getting into horror films. And after seeing it, I kind of picked up two big things from it. Number one, this was a really scary film, and this is about as far as I can go in terms of horror. Number two, this was an absolutely brilliant film. One of the things that I think makes it such a great film is that, yes, it does have incredibly terrifying moments that shock you in every way possible, just like they shock the characters. But at the same time, this film feels like a character piece almost, because every single character in this film, and there are a lot, and I'm talking about the main characters, the kids, each and every single one of them are written and developed so well. And by the way, the script for this film is incredible. But to be honest, that doesn't really come as a surprise, because one of the people who wrote this film is Cary Fukunaga, who did the first season of True Detective. He directed the first season, and he also did the incredibly underrated, absolutely amazing Beast of No Nation. And so his script for this film is incredible. And all the dialogue between all the kids feel really natural, because that is actually how children of that age do speak, because, well, I am kind of children of that age. And so I really related to that, and that was probably one of the things I loved most about this film, just the interaction between all of the characters. You know, the interaction between all the characters who are played so well. All the actors who play these children are incredible. And I know that, you know, there's probably going to be like an It 2 coming out that takes place like 27 years after, and obviously I know who I would want to play these children 27 years later, but if I had my way, I would love to see these guys play them, you know, and wait 27 years, because, you know, that would be incredible, because they are really good and I want to see them play their adult versions as opposed to having other actors play them. Obviously, I think the big performance of this film is Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise the Clown. Visually, the clown looks terrifying. Both the the practical stuff that they do with him, the CGI stuff, it's absolutely brilliant. But Bill Skarsgård, he is so good in this role. He is so creepy, and it wasn't one of those clowns that are kind of funny. It's one of those clowns that are just absolutely terrifying. And I know that we have a lot of news around the whole Joker film lately. You know, Leo DiCaprio has been looked at, you know, people are saying Will Poulter, Jake Gyllenhaal, Willem Dafoe, all that, Crispin Glover. I think definitely Bill Skarsgård is one of the people who should definitely be considered for the role of the Joker, because in this film he is just brilliant in every way. And the directing too, the directing is really good. This is an incredibly well directed film. There are some really, really nice shots, some really cool like camera movements, some like long takes, some really good editing, the score, cinematography, like this is a really well made film all around. It has so many brilliant moments of excitement, of tension, of comedy, of horror, obviously. There are some truly terrifying moments in this film. But saying all that, it never forgets the most important thing about the film, which is the characters in the story, both of which are so well done. And for that reason, I'm going to give it an A-. This was an incredibly enjoyable film. Please go see it. It's already made like a ton of money, but go see it anyway. If you don't like horror movies, just go see it anyway. There are a couple of jump scares. Well, there are a lot of jump scares, but if I can make it through it, that means you guys can probably make it through it, because like I'm the last person you want watching a horror movie with you. But anyway guys, it was a brilliant film. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Thank you.